We did some analytics around the impact of recognition, and we're able to, through all that work, see that twice as many people stay that have received our GEM award than that haven't, and that we retain 28% more of our GEM winners than non-GEM winners. That's huge. That's a huge impact, especially given the size of our organization and all the headwinds we've had to deal with. That just can make it hard to be in this industry. So I think it just speaks to the power of recognition and the importance of it, and is part of this overall Square One strategy. Encompass One Healthcare, we employ almost 68,000 people across the U.S. We're a large organization, and we're in hospitals and senior living communities serving patients and people in need. There's nothing more exciting than to talk about how we recognize and support our people. Square One really was born out of the pandemic and realizing that our employees were working night and day, long hours, around the clock. They were getting burnt out. As we talked with our leadership team, we see how do we go about dealing with this? What does it really take? We need to try to get back to normalcy. We need to try to get back to what's important to our employees. Of course, recognition is the last key pillar. And again, always been part of a key focus for us. But we, as part of Square One and coming out of the pandemic, really doubled down because we know how important recognition is to retaining and engaging our associates. So I would say it's not an overnight flip the switch kind of a thing. It's really more of a cultural pivot for us to really be focused on all those things to really support the retention, engagement, and overall just happiness of our associates. And the good news is it was easy to get buy into this. I think everybody saw the value. No one could argue that this wasn't worth doing. Making sure our leadership team is behind it. So from Bobby Couttet, our CEO, on down, making sure we're really messaging the importance and our commitment to this and what we've been able to do in the spirit of focusing on our associates in this light. But at the end of the day, this impacts, as I mentioned, almost 70,000 people and thousands of leaders. We're measuring it in many different ways. And there's, I think, some more direct ways we're seeing early impact. So just even seeing more adoption of that program. It was already well adopted, but to see an increase in adoption of that program since we've launched Square One has been another, positive metric, if you will. That can be hard to measure, but just kind of that day-to-day feedback that we get from people and how they're feeling and how they're doing, I think is also an important guiding post, if you will, in terms of how this is working. And the really cool thing is it caught wind. So there are other parts of broader Compass Group that are starting to kind of buy into this as well, as they are also dealing with similar challenges. So that's been kind of an exciting recent development.